All right. This pissed everybody off this week. Qatar. Well, anyway, they're doing F-15 training in Mountain Home, and people are mad about it. The article states, things to know about the Qatar training facility planned for an Idaho base. What we expect is it to be squadron operations hangars for the F-15QA, because that's the Qatari version of the jet that they bought through foreign material or military sales. Air Force spokesperson Ann Stefanik said it's definitely still a U.S. Air Force base, but there was outrage at the concept. Go to the outrage, Doug. I want to read the outrage.
I'm looking for the outrage.
The outrage. Laura Loomer was super pissed.
She was saying that there should be no.
Yeah, I thought so too.
Actually, they must have edited it, but anyway. All right, so there you get it. They're gonna they awarded the training to Mountain Home. They're gonna put the Qataris there, being trained. And the internet lit itself on fire because they're like, we shouldn't have foreigners taking over our Air Force bases and training in our bases. We need to have Americans. They're taking our jobs.
Is that like a little old lady who was outraged?
Just everybody was mad.
That's how
Laura was outraged again.
That's how Laura actually sounds.
Oh, like there it goes. She called the plan an abomination. No foreign country should have a military base on U.S. soil, especially Islamic countries, she said in a social media post. And then that comes from the fact that a Saudi Air Force student at Naval Air Station Pensacola killed 3 U.S. service members. They found out there was a lot of stuff with some child porn. And then they also gifted the Air Force One. So, Gonky, you're the most experienced on these things. Explain it to us like we're children.
I think the hang up was, they're going to get Qatar to pay for some of the facilities in the buildings. Dude, listen, we've been training foreign military pilots, soldiers, sailors, airmen forever. Like I trained them like on US. So we had the Aussies here, right? We do exchange programs and everything. And if they are buying the Eagle, which is basically kind of like, which is their version of the EX, right? It's an amazing airplane. I mean, it's awesome that they're going to come here to the States to train to fly it. That actually opens up opportunities and jobs for people here in the States. And the fact that you're getting them to pay for their own facility here in the States, I mean, that's U.S. taxpayer doesn't have to bear that burden. I don't know how it is in the Air Force, but in the Navy, like when the Aussies came over, all the F-111 guys transitioned over. Like, I mean, they used all of our sims, the buildings, even the jets and stuff. So, the Navy had to absorb that. So this is nothing new. I mean, we've been doing this, it's joint training, really.
We live in a world of headline outrage because people saw the, Pete Heggs signs deal with, Qatar to train in the United States. And there's no context, right? Tucson International B course. They've been training various countries for a long time, still are. Luke has training for the F-35 for various countries. Fort Smith is soon going to be training, if they're not already, F-35 pilots. What's the Springfield, Ohio? They had an international B course component. Mountain Home, Seymour Johnson, anywhere where there's training. INJEPT, Euro-NATO Joint Jet Pilot Training. Vance had it because it was joint specialized undergraduate pilot training. We had Italians, and we had a fellow student in my class was from Portugal, flew T-38s with him. Great dude. Like, this is not new, but you're right. It brings jobs. It brings instructor jobs. It brings maintainer jobs. It brings all the infrastructure and support of that. And also the economy, because those dudes are loaded and they show up and they buy all the Ferraris and Corvettes and everything and drive them to base. So the local car dealerships are very, I don't know, special. What do you think, man?
Qatar, so they'll buy the beer.
Yeah, they will have all the beer and all the alcohol.
No, just like you said, we've been doing this forever, and it's nothing new. It's just internet outrage, and I mean, it really helps because then we can train them in a way that if we ever have to go fly with them, they're more interoperable.
Yeah,
and
exactly.
And that was what was so cool when we talked to Scarf, right? German. He was like talking to an American fighter pilot. He was trained at Shepherd at Euro-NATO Joint Jet Pilot Training at INJEPT. And it's all, I mean, he takes that because they all go to American flight training. They all show up, and then when you get to interoperability, everybody's speaking the same language, except the Navy. But Air Force wise, everybody's speaking the same language. We all do the same things. We all call it the same things. We all listen to the Dos Gringos. We all, shoot our watches and can't say head, box, container, any of that stuff.
Yeah. I mean, dude, when I switched over the Air Force, went to Randolph, there was they had Kuwaitis there going through the pilot instructor program. There's a Kenyan fighter pilot. I mean, dude.
Well, and I want to address, I thought you were going to do it, but I think you were probably the best to comment on it, is the Saudi that killed those people. I mean, dude, people kill and lose their shit and do stuff. It doesn't matter. Like that's going to happen. Like that's an unfortunate thing, and we should avoid it. But I don't think that you can blame the entire country.
Well,
that.
Yeah. So with, Malaysia is primarily a Muslim country. I mean, they are a Muslim country. And I grew up almost 2 decades in Saudi, a Muslim country. And, when I got to Malaysia, the two cultures were 180. And the guys there, I talked to them a little bit about, the difference. And they said, yeah. And they said, it's not the religion, it's the cultures that are very different. So, to whatever her name was, Laura was like, oh, especially Islamic. I'm a Christian, right? But I think to to isolate a specific religion like that, just blanket, is probably a little short-sighted. But it's important when you're dealing with military bases and stuff. You got to vet people, and obviously the people who did that. I was here in the area when that happened. Very sad, because I like where the shootout actually happened was pretty much where I started my OCS journey. I could walk right there to the quarterdeck, where it happened. So it's very sad. It's like here in my backyard, but those guys weren't vetted properly, in my opinion, and that's what you get. But you're right, Mover. I mean, there's been.
I mean, New Orleans has Kuwaiti Hornets.
Right. Yeah.
I mean,
yeah.
Spartan says, what's that?
Do they have their own facilities?
I don't know what happened with them. I've never seen one fly or heard of, I don't know if they actually ever did fly or anything. It's Dennis in New Orleans.
So Special, I went to the base there and checked out their the facilities they were using. They didn't build any additional facility there in New Orleans. They were using an existing hangar and office space.
The existing dilapidated hangars.
Was it the old E2 where the E2s were? Where we did like the growlers would come in debt?
Where we stole their bar?
I think so.
Allegedly.
Yeah.
Allegedly.
For sure, if the Kuwaitis are using that, it's been remodeled. I'm sure it's been remodeled.
It's a Taj Mahal now.
The outside still looks the same.
It looks like an Air Force building on a Navy base.
Yeah, exactly. It's like, why are all the high-end cars in this parking lot? Who are these people?
Spartan says it's not that we are training foreign air forces, it's who we are training. Qatar at best is shady. Plus side is they have recently trained with the PLF. Well, you're going to have to take that up with who we're selling the airplanes to, because this is part of selling airplanes. And also, I want to talk to you about a little place called Al Udeid, where we spent a lot of time. I mean, I love them or hate them. We are allies with them.
Yeah. I mean, we have bases in other countries.
Yeah.
That's the ironic thing is
right.
Hear people talking about
right.
Hey, why are we selling them F-15s? They're like, well, why are we letting them build a hangar to train them? Well, I mean, that's already already down the pipeline.
That's built into the cost.
If you're outraged, go back to the beginning of the decision to sell them something.
Right. Yeah, or the 20-year war where we started our journey out of Al Udeid in Qatar.
Yeah.
And they searched your laptop for I'm serious, dude. That was a real thing.
Took it for themselves.
Yeah. I heard of people like not making it past, they would get shipped back to wherever their intermediate stop was prior to that, because
that's all you had to do to get out of deployment. Dude, no Marine
will participate in this war. No Marine will participate in this war. We have identified a stop point for U.S. Marines.